co-main, which was Mackenzie Dern versus Virna Jandiroba. Look, dude, I wasn't too excited about this fight going in. I'm telling you right now. Uh, and I can just picture Zhang Wei Li just sitting there eating popcorn and just watching this and thinking to herself like, what are we doing? Like,
Dude,
why can't I just hold two belts?
why didn't they let her hold two belts?
Yeah.
When this
And
is the
no,
alternative, what are
sorry, I
we?
forgot to start off with all due respect. With all due
Yes, yeah,
respect,
yeah.
because either one of these women can kick my ass hands down. Uh, but there's levels, man. There's levels, and we saw it yesterday. And my fear after watching this title fight yesterday was that it's going to turn somewhat into like the bantamweight women's title,
Dude, I thought the same
where
thing.
it's like the quality of champion just with Zhang leaving just dropped after watching this.
Dude, and it's crazy to think about when like this was the division because everybody at the time, everyone was talking about Ronda Rousey and then Holly Holm and then Misha Tate and that's like where like women's MMA the spotlight was on bantamweight at that time. But meanwhile, we had like Joanna Champion, dude. And she was, like she was running clinics on Jessica Andrade when Andrade was like still scary. And then Thug Rose comes into the mix, and then Zhang Wei Li, and all this whole time, this division was like some sick shit going on at the top of it, right? And this is the pinnacle now. And with all due respect, I didn't say
Again,
that,
with all
but
due
with
respect.
all due respect, I mean,
Rich coming in
God.
saying "Boo Rose." Rich.
Oh man. Yeah.
Um,
Let's. Man, Anonymous is awful fight. Both seem clueless in there. Never seen someone take so much damage while on top. Oh man, all those takedowns with no attempts at submissions. Dude, that was a weird thing because like, okay, all right, you're getting pinged a little bit with the jab if you're Jandiroba, right? Mackenzie Dern, she's developed a pretty decent jab. I'll give her credit, especially considering
when she
where
has
she
Perillo in
was.
her corner. When she has
Yeah, well,
Perillo in
she
her corner,
does
yes. Yeah,
now,
yeah, for
but
sure.
I mean, if you look at day one Mackenzie Dern in the UFC versus this fight, the jab looks much better. Is it like, is it? I'm not going to say it became Trevor Whitman, Kamar Usman jab towards the end of his run, but it's better than it was. And she was touching Jandiroba, and so you're like, all right, mix it up a little bit. Jandiroba takes her down with pretty easily, right? Because Mackenzie Dern's fine with the takedown.
Yep.
But each time, dude, she just sat in guard and just it's like she didn't want to pass or anything because you give up an opportunity for a sweep or a submission or anything like that. She didn't want to land any ground and pound because the same thing. So instead, all we got was her taking her down, sitting in her guard, while Mackenzie Dern just tees off on her off her back, and you're like, "What is happening right now, dude?" Like, dude, she got up off of her at one point because she was getting hit with elbows and punches and back fists and stuff on top, and you're like, "Dude, what is going on? This is a title fight." And look, if this fight was just like the first fight on a pay per view or uh, you know the second to last prelim or something like that, I'd be like, that's a pretty decent scrap. It was fun enough.
Yeah. Yeah,
But the
yeah.
fact that
But it's
this
for
is
the
supposed to
title.
be, yeah, that's what the context really brings this fight down.
Saying from an anonymous source, Zhang's actually okay. Vacating the belt and is pretty indifferent. Take that from me, whatever that's worth.
I think that's been kind of public a little bit. And I'm sure she's okay with it, but correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't her decision to vacate, right? Even if she's okay with it, it's like, you know, this is someone who I think can get the belt in the weight class she's moving up to and clearly continue to beat the contenders of this division.
Yeah.
So why not?
Let me who else do we have in that division right now? Who else is coming up? Let me take a look at this real quick. So we have Tatiana Suarez.
Okay. Do we
That'll
really?
probably be Dern's first title defense, right?
Yeah.
And Tatiana probably wins that.
Is it though? Is it the ghost of Tatiana or is it,
Oh, good
you know what I
question.
mean?
We have Yan Xiaonan, Amanda Lemos, Lupi Godinez. This division's in trouble.
This division's in trouble.
Division's in trouble. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I just named off
Yeah.
all these fighters. Zhang Weili was it, man. She was the glue in that 115.
Yeah.
Uh,
Damn, they still have. I'm looking at the rankings right now. They still have Zhang Weili listed as the champ on the UFC website.
James saying, do you find it ironic that when Weili was the champ, people complained about her, but now they want her back?
Look, yeah. Well, I think that people complained about the inactivity, which I don't even think was necessarily Zhang's fault. I don't think that was her fault, but um, I don't think anybody, at least I never saw it, people complain about her performances. Like when she fought, people were like, damn, she's good. I think they just complained about the inactivity. But I would imagine part of that's on the UFC, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a tough one. It's a tough one, man.
Austin says embarrassing. Honestly, the refusal to throw more shots and then the person on bottom is crazy. I know they could beat me up, but as a spectator sport, they shouldn't be impressed with that. I mean, what was the? I actually would like to see what the stats were for ground
Uh,
strikes.
Rio saying there was a weird narrative after Virna beat Yan that Virna would beat Zhang. I think we could put that to bed after this performance. Thoughts? Yeah, I don't. I
Yeah.
usually don't jump on any of that MMA math, Rio. So either way, like I just try to take a look at every single matchup individually. And
Hmm.
again, as I'm going through and I'm just reading off the top names in that division, I just don't see anybody that would have been able to beat Zhang Weili. I don't.
No.
Blunderbub, what up, boys? Evie's busy, but she
Hey,
asked to say hi. Hey, shout out Evie too. Shout out Blunderbub. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully,
dude.
y'all enjoy
Okay.
those fights. The eye
You want to
pokes.
you want to hear something depressing?
What?
Virna Jandiroba, 9 minutes of control, 9 minutes of top control on the ground, three ground strikes.
What?
Mackenzie Dern, 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the ground on top, 21 ground strikes.
Oh, jeez, dude.
That's crazy, dude.
Vietnam.
She, I mean,
What?
it's
What?
crazy, man. And Ghost said somewhere in here too. I saw. I will say that Virna's lack of scouting and adjustments from their first fight was baffling. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna fight Mackenzie, it's like, and if you have already fought Mackenzie, if you're taking her down, was the game plan to just take her down and stay on top in guard? If I stay composed in guard, she won't sweep me, she won't submit me, and I'll win off control. Was that the game plan? You know what I mean?
If
If
it
so,
was, it
she
was a
picked,
terrible game
especially
plan.
considering the night, considering the Volkov versus Almeida fight. Like the judges were, even if it worked in the fight, they weren't going to get rewarded for it. But I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. Well, congratulations, Mackenzie Dern,
She's a champ.
on becoming a champion. Absolutely.
And I actually like
Uh,
Mackenzie Dern.
so do
You know,
I. I'm not
I
saying I
know.
don't.
Yeah, and I know,
By
but
the way, the moment when her daughter steps into the octagon,
it's
cute
cool.
as shit. Dude, she put
It's cool.
the belt bigger than she is almost, right? She's
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
it. Dude, she's adorable.
yeah. And some people are like, I don't like she sucks, all this stuff. It's like, are there issues? Yes, of course. Do I still like her fights? I guess maybe not, but sometimes.
Again,
I like her
there's
aggression.
levels. There's levels. And I like
Yes.
her aggression too, but when the aggression turns into a 2 or 3 piece with the soda and she leaves her chin straight up in the air as she's coming in, and all somebody has to do is just sidestep and counter, sidestep and counter, sidestep
Hmm.
and counter. Like it's the same opportunity with that blitz that we've seen for the past, I
Yes.
don't know how many years, and we just haven't fixed that. It's like we got Jason Perillo. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
he's seen it too, and that's what's
Or
so
just
frustrating.
develop a couple wrestling style takedowns. You know, those walking in punches are great at disguising punch or disguising takedowns. Do
Yeah.
that into a takedown. What did you say? What did you text during the fight? Um, I
Oh
thought you
boy.
had a great line.
Is it friendly?
Uh,
I hope it
yes.
is.
Shout out George. Said, I think this fight would have been appreciated a bit more by fans somewhere else. Not a bad fight, a little sloppy, not too bad. You said, yeah, like Invicta.
Hey, dude. Hey, that wasn't nice. Are you sure I
This is a
said that?
this is a great Invicta main event.
Yes, it is. That would have been a very good
Yes.
main event for Invicta. Yes,
Yes.
both of them fantastic Invicta champions. I believe Jandiroba was actually an Invicta champion, if I remember correctly.
Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. So that was very mean of me to say, by the way. Thanks for reading that text, Will.
No, it's all
Just
good.
put me
Come
on
on.
blast, dude. All right.
Right before that, you did text with all due respect.
No, I didn't. All right, we'll move on to the
Uh,
next fight.
oh wait, real quick.
Yeah,
Jin
yeah.
says, "Would you guys rather have this or a Whaley outclassing?"
Whaley outclassing
Whaley
for me.
outclassing. Yeah.
Yes,
Any
because
day.
because it's the true champ showing everybody that there's levels. You would see a Zhang Wei Li, and the whole thing is like, oh my God, who's going to be able to develop? Who's going to be able to
Hmm.
come and take the belt from Zhang Wei Li?
Yes.
Now it's all I could think about after that fight was Zhang should have that belt. Like nobody would
Yes.
be like the two people that are fighting for that title right now wouldn't be able to beat her. And then God, who was it? Dean Thomas was also on
Yes.
some and he's like, is this the like most meaningless championship title fight ever that anybody could think of?
Oh
And then
man.
he also said he's like, but like I'm not trying to
With
be
all due
mean,
respect.
but like
No, I
does
do.
anybody else feel this way? And I think it was Alex Smith. Is that who it was?
The quarterback.
No, not Alex Smith. I'm sorry. God,
That's
what's his
how old
name?
my football knowledge is.
Yeah, yeah.
Last time I paid attention to football, he was the
Who
Niners
was it?
quarterback.
I don't remember who it was that was on there, but they're like, yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. So it's tough.
Well, this is the thing. Watching this, I'm like, yeah, this clearly this is not the caliber that Zhang Wei Li's at. It's crazy this
Anthony
title
Smith,
fight.
sorry. Anthony
Anthony
Smith. It was
Smith.
an
Yeah,
A.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the other thing is like, okay, this is weird for a title fight, but this was also not great even for like a number one contender fight. You know,
No,
if
no.
this was like a
Like
title
if you're
eliminator, I'd be like, ooh,
as exactly, if this was a title eliminator fight,
yeah,
I would probably like to see the outclassing from Zhang Wei Li, but I would
yes,
also be like, oh, I'm not gonna pay for that one because
yeah,
I know what's gonna happen.
yes.
You know
But
what I mean?
is another it's another notch on the legacy of a dominant champion, and I do like to see that.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you for watching that short clip. Just so you know, that was a small excerpt from what we covered this last Sunday, right, Will?
Yeah, we cover the entire event every weekend. So this was just a cutout from the live stream that we did. The link to that live stream is in the description. So if you want to hear about the other fights that night, it's down below in the description. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell because we go live every Sunday to cover events. And if you do that, you'll know for next week and you can tune in and be in the chat and get featured on the show just like everybody else was on this clip.
We hope to chat with you live.